Pakistan, meanwhile, is embroiled in an ugly dogfight. The economy is in free fall. Even the old allies of Islamabad at this moment are refusing to bail it out. And now the judiciary and the government are openly defying each other. The big question, of course, is this. What can actually Pakistan now fall back on to dig itself out of this crisis? Our next report gets you the details.
अगर larger bench नहीं बनता तो एक ऐसा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल क्राइसिस पैदा होगा जिससे खुदा ना खास्ता मेरा जो खदशा है कि खुदा ना खास्ता पाकिस्तान में ऐसा कोई इमरजेंसी या मार्शल लॉ टाइप सिचुएशन फिर से ना लग जाए। मैं बड़ा बात कर रहा हूँ।
Yes, you heard it right. The murmurs are getting louder. Fears of an imminent army coup have enveloped Islamabad. The statement by Pakistan's Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari comes incidentally on a day which exactly 38 years ago saw his maternal grandfather, former Pakistani Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, hanged by the military dictatorship. We at WION have reported that with institutions failing, the conditions are ripe for a military intervention.
Is the ground now fertile, possibly for the Pakistani military to step in?
Well, it's a question, $1 million question you have asked me.
Let's try to see what has led to such a situation. The judiciary and the government are bickering. The Pakistan Supreme Court called the delay in Punjab elections as unconstitutional. While Imran Khan is happy, the Shehbaz Sharif government says that the top court's order is quote-unquote unimplementable.
We will look at the order and we will see that which enabling provision of the Constitution provided the powers to the Chief Justice to assume the role of the Chief Election Commissioner.
That's just one of the many crises stalking the nation. The opposition and the ruling forces are locked in a dogfight which is getting uglier by the day. Imran Khan is challenging the establishment by defying curfew laws and targeting the government. The turmoil in the political arena has echoes of the past. Pakistan is teetering on the edge of financial default, and the situation has become even more precarious as traditional allies like Saudi Arabia too are fed up leaving the nation to fend for itself. With its economy in a shambles, the South Asian country is now at the mercy of the IMF, which has laid down a path of strict fiscal discipline, which in effect is pushing up inflation and hurting the common man. Multiple stampede incidents have marred the holy month of Ramadan. Heart-wrenching scenes abound as people desperate to collect free flour distributed by the government are ending up in mortuaries. Remember, the country is yet to emerge from the effects of the deadly floods of 2022, which affected 33 million people and more than 1,730 lost their lives. The worst hit are the poorest and the most vulnerable. The damages caused by the floods are in excess of $15 billion. On top of that, the security scenario is going from bad to worse. The TTP or the Pakistan Taliban targeting the Pakistan security forces. In January, a mosque in Peshawar was bombed. Over 100 were killed and most of them were cops. And like the other problems, this too is self-inflicted, a monster of their own creation. 1958, 1977 and 1999. Will the men from Rawalpindi seize the moment to step in and take charge of the mess? With institutions failing and the nation tearing apart, the big question is the ground fertile for a military coup? Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
All right, so this, of course, is what the situation at this moment is in Pakistan. To give us more insights, we're being joined by Amir Shahin, who is a senior journalist. He's, of course, joining us live on this broadcast. Amir, this is a crucial moment, is it not? We've been looking at the political bickering that's been going on between the PML Nawaz and the PTI, but now it is quite clearly a case of the ruling government against the judiciary.
Yes, it started with economic problems, then it became security problems, then law and order problems, and then the food crisis, and then political crisis, then international isolation, natural disasters, and then we had the constitutional and the judicial crisis in Pakistan, and also the crisis of holding an election, which the Election Commission of Pakistan and the government and the security forces, the police and the military, everybody is saying cannot be held according to the demands of the Supreme Court, which echo the demands of former Prime Minister Imran Khan, who is known as the Ladla or the favored one. So if you start by talking about the Supreme Court's verdict today, it was very expected because the larger bench, which comprised of 7 judges, was of the opinion that the Supreme Court does not have the authority, the Chief Justice does not have the authority to listen to this and pass a verdict on when and how the elections should be held. However, those 2 judges, they left, they were either taken out or they left the proceedings, and from a 4-3 in favor of let the government decide, it became a 3-2 in favor of the Supreme Court is going to tell you when the elections are going to be held. Earlier, the Election Commission of Pakistan, not taking into notice of the security concerns and the financial concerns, the practical concerns of the elections being able to be held, had said that they would do it in April. So right now, and then later on, they said due to practical concerns, it will be October 8th instead of 30th April when the elections can take place. But the Supreme Court has held the Election Commission, their order unconstitutional. They've quashed it and they've said, no, you have to hold the elections no matter what on 14th May, which is right around the corner.
Absolutely, indeed. It is a pretty big crisis which the Shehbaz Sharif government seems to find itself in. Thank you very much indeed, Amir Shahan, for joining us and getting us those insights. We'll, of course, be tracking this story very, very closely indeed. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.